It's the weekly tap in. Yours truly, Duane Cofield, host of Drug Dealers to Businessmen podcast, among other things. But it's the weekly tap in, and I'm tapping in. What's good, man? Let me do what's necessary. The weekly tap in. You got to share. You know what I'm saying? What's good? Get your folks to tap in. Let me do what's necessary. Tap in. You got to share. All right. All right. You know what I'm saying? Really that simple. Go from there. So what's up, homies? You already know the business, man. Go ahead, put your city in there. You know, some of you guys who see that this a little late think that I'm like repeating myself, but what it is you're seeing a live late. So it starts, and then you guys kind of catch the drag, like the back end part of it. So no disrespect, homies. If I don't catch you or catch your city to shout you out, it's probably because you're watching this a little bit on a lag. So you may see it a little bit late. But if you are tuned in, make sure you put your city in those comments. Make sure you hit the subscription so you can get the notifications. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you like the page so that you get your notifications. And whenever we go live, we do random stuff as well. But this stuff, always give a book suggestion, or at least we try to. Right now, we're in the same book suggestion that we came in last week. So those who caught us last week, but today we're talking about something that we all scared of. So we'll get to that. But I'm going to give people time to tap in. Make sure you guys catch up. Put your city out there so I can shout you out. We're in the city of Los Angeles as always. A little overcast out here, but we still moving. We're still making it pop. We're still doing what we can with what we have, right where we are. So I expect you guys to do the same. You know what I mean? So today, and I'll shout you guys out as the comments start to come in. For Hustlers Only, as always, and want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Med Tours LA. If you ever come into the city, make sure you guys tap in with us. We do cannabis stores. It's lit. We take you around South Central as well. Or hairlivery.com, where we ship hair extensions all over the United States, in addition to same-day delivery in the Los Angeles area. So make sure you give a shout out to our sponsors, Med Tours LA, hairlivery.com, both based in Los Angeles as well. But Hair Livery actually ships nationwide, so tap in if your girl needs some. We also have men toupees as well. So fellas, if we don't do, like, I know some of the guys are doing this thing, what they doing, we don't do that. So yeah, man, we're talking about failure today. One of the things that, more importantly, we're talking about fear of failure. It's not what's good, homie. I see you in Charlotte, man. You moving all around, baby. I see you, AD. Appreciate you tapping in, my brother. Everything is good, brother. I appreciate you as always, man. But yeah, man, we're talking about failure, man, or that fear of it. And it's it's a real thing. It's a paralyzer. You know what I mean? It stops us from going anywhere. And it stops us from going after a lot of things that we were capable of doing. You know, you heard that term before. If you could do anything in the world, what would it be? And then you also hear the follow-up, then why haven't you done it yet? You know what I mean? And that's a scary, tough one to swallow right there, right? If you could do anything in the world, why haven't you done it yet? Right? If you could. And that's the thing. And once we start to accomplish one thing after another, we realize, okay, well, I can do more. Why haven't I tapped into more of this? Right? Because success is contagious, right? And it's a drug that we can start to fiend and feed off of if we do it the right way. The challenge is, along with that, we have these fears, right? We have these fears of worst case scenario, failure, The guy named Tim Ferriss that I listen to, he has this thing called fear setting that he does. And what he does is he finds the things that he's the most fearful of, whether it's public speaking, swimming with sharks, whatever the case may be. And he writes down the logical form of it, because a lot of times what our fears are based on are illogical things that aren't necessarily logical. Our fears are based on things that have been passed down a lot of times. They're hereditary. You notice that a lot of times we're afraid of the same thing our parents were afraid of, or we're afraid of the same things our homies are afraid of, or we're afraid of the same things that our cousins are afraid of. And the reason behind that is because these things are passed down. We have a few different fears, right? When we're born with the noise and a couple other things, right? Things that'll save our lives. But these other things that happen, these other things that take place that we fear, right? We start to adopt these same fears. A lot of times it could happen in your town, right? Nobody leaves, right? I know cats in LA and San Diego ain't never been to the beach. Never been to the beach. And this shit is literally down the street. But because of a belief system, because of limiting factors, because of limiting exposure, you don't step outside that zone. You don't go and challenge yourself to do something a little bit different than what everybody around me is doing. Because when you start to do that, right, you have the fear of ostracization, right? Also at the same time, they're gonna ostracize me. They're gonna put me out the group if I deviate, if I go off and try to do something different, they're gonna put me out. And we had that fear too. Right? We had that same fear that we're gonna be ostracized. They're not gonna embrace me the same if I step out here and do something different. So all these fears are going on, right? The fear of acceptance, the fear of ostracization, the fear of change, right? And they all lead to us not moving, not making any movement, right? Because we don't want to embarrass ourselves, right? We don't want to embarrass ourselves. We don't want people to think. That's a lot of times people are like, man, move in silence. Don't tell nobody, right? Because then if you fail, you don't nobody will know, right? It's that accountability though that matters the most. Somebody hold me accountable. Let me tell the world so that they check in. Hey, did you finish that yet? Hey man, remember that shit you was talking, homie? Did you ever finish? Oh no. And that's where that accountability comes in, right? But where's this fear of failure based on, right? Well, if we don't know anybody who's done what we've done, right? How do we feel like we're gonna fail? And a lot of times that's what we do. We start to build it up because I want to be safe. I don't want to have to start over. We start to list similar to what the fear setting. We start to list the reasons why. Right? Okay, so oh man, if I go out here and try this business, what's up, homie? What's good? What's good, family? Big Rome in the building, man. That's the big homie right there. I see you, dog. What's happening? But a lot of times we step out, even the big homie stepping out there, right? Not afraid to fail, putting it out there. You got to. That's the thing that scares you the most is going to pay you the most. Period. The one thing that you fear the most, like if it's, I don't care if it's franchising, if it's starting a restaurant, if it's starting the one thing that you fear the most is probably going to get you paid the most. Period. And a lot of times we step out there, not necessarily, oh, man, I want to go after the safe stuff. Right. But it's the one thing that we have in the back of our mind. We know that one thing that we should be doing. Right. We know that one thing that we should be doing. Like that female, we know we should have hollered at it. You see this other square cracker. What's up, homie? I see you, fam. Tap in where your city coming from, homie. Where y'all at with it? But that thing we fear, right? Failure. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to start over. It's the worst that can happen. Who cares if we got to start over? We still trying to figure it out. We doing chicken right now. We ain't figured that out yet. We made some. It was really good. Some we made. We need more seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Indianapolis in the building. I see you, homie. What's up, Bobby? But I'm in the game. That's the difference between me and them that are sitting there trying to figure it out first. I'm figuring out as I go, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm figuring out as I go. That's the thing, because if I sat there and tried to figure it out before I got out the gate, I would never get out the gate because I need to have it all figured out. And there's going to be no perfect situation. I watched Colonel Sanders, right? I didn't just come out my ass with a lot of this stuff. I watched Colonel Sanders, and they said he failed. He came up with his recipe, failed, opened up a restaurant, failed, and finally got it together. That's the key. How many of us, man, stay in the game? I keep telling people that, man, just stay in the game. If you can hang, you could just stay in the game, you'll win. Outlast everybody. That's the name. But don't be afraid to fail. Most people don't leave their environment because they're afraid. damn, y'all heard the tale about the three-legged coyote, right? Three-legged coyote will whoop you on his territory all the time, no matter what. You know why? Because he knows his territory very well. I don't care if he got three legs or not. He could be down. You take him outside of that territory, he ain't shit. And that's the thing about us. We got to be more diverse than that. We can't be limited to our circumstances or our situations. We got to be culturalized. We got to step outside. That's why I love my truck drive. That's why I love what the big homie doing. You see what I'm saying? You guys are getting out there seeing what time it is. It's going to expand your horizon. And you're going to hear more stories about it. One of the things I heard about all the success stories, they all included failure. So if you haven't failed yet, there's a term that they use in technology: fail fast and fail often. Period. You need to in order to test, see if it works. You don't want to wait and let me do all this planning and the shit is trash. Right? You want to get out. Let me test it. Shit, let me in the lab. Okay, I'll invest this to test it. I'll take the L with this. We bought a couple fryers. The fryers was a rack a piece. Two bands. I'll shoot the dice to become Colonel Sanders, homie. Period. What they hit, now I'm in the game. Put me in the game with two bands, okay. And I could be Colonel Sanders at some point, or I could fail. But at the same time, I'll learn enough to where it was worth the two bands. I could tell somebody, hey man, with these pop-ups, homie, you're gonna want to do X, Y, Z, this and this and that. Or if I tried it again with something different, I know I could succeed. But it's the failure that teaches me everything, homie. That's the thing. It's not the success. The only thing about coming out the gate number one is the only place you can go at that point is down. Right? So you come out the gate pulling a Nelly. You know what I'm saying? For real. And you like, okay, man, I got the number one single. Shit, well, you got to maintain that. But if you that underdog, you that one is shit, I gotta climb, get knocked back down, climb, knock back down. Your story got a lot more substance. You got a lot more game. You know more things than other people know. You know how to fix what? I told you guys that a long time ago, homie. Who we gonna take advice from? $1,000 cat or somebody who lost a couple meal tickets? Period. I'm gonna listen to the failure because he knew how to get it. Even though he messed it off, he knew how to get it. You feel me? So I'm gonna listen to the cat who tried. You opened up a restaurant. Yeah, man. Okay, but you did it. You succeeded. You did that. You know what I'm saying? See you, homie. Wisconsin. All right now. All right, Bobby. I see. Hey, man. Appreciate that. I appreciate the love, man. I can't do it without you cats. Trust me. You guys are my connection, my conduit to God. That's why me and God connect is when y'all come on here. Because he start giving it to me. You're like, okay, here, man. Now I see the homies need XYZ here. I'm gonna throw it through you. Appreciate that. I need to be used. You feel me? But this is what I'm talking about. And a lot of my failures, I still fail. I still make stumbles. That's part of the process, homie. I know I'm still in the game if I'm failing. When you grow in the weight room on the tens, nah, you grow when them hundreds is pulling your damn shoulders back. That's when you start to see progress. That's when you start to see muscle development. Not on that light shit. It's on the things that challenge you the most. So we have to look for, I ain't saying look for problems. I'm not saying that because we should have an optimistic eye about things, right? We should see what can I do, not what can't I do. Told you guys I'm listening to a book right now, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And it talks about happiness, failure, aging, the whole nine. I promise you that book will change your life. And these are the things that we need to embrace. It talks about what we watch last before we go to bed, because that's when our subconscious is really working. When the dream recipe is really cooking is when we're laying down. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part where we got to start to curb our subconscious. Maybe watch something inspirational. I started the chicken thing because I was watching all these little restaurants. I'm like, man, shit, this is inspiring. And all these other things start leading to this. Let me try it. I'm just as good as these cats. That's the way I'm thinking. Let me try it. Cast arrow. You need restaurant experience. If you haven't worked in a chef, Man, I know one thing. I know them fools who got Pizza Hut didn't know shit about pizzas. I know that much. And neither one of them worked at a restaurant. And I see more Pizza Huts than I see any other restaurant. So I'm going to roll with that plan, homie. You feel me? So things are subjective, right? Advice is subjective. My advice is subjective. This is related to me. I'm just giving you my best version. I'm trying to lead the breadcrumbs and lead the door cracks so y'all can slide on through. That's how we are. We on some talented 10 shit, right? WB Du Bois. We go learn and then bring it back to the neighborhood and distribute. That's the name of the game, right? So let's take it there. But back to failure, because I'm going to keep rocking this until we understand that this is part of our weight pile. Failure. He's on the pile. He's heavy as a motherfucker, and he's consistent. So if you're in this space, you feel like you're failing, you're going the right direction. Right? If you winning and it's easy, but you feel like you ain't doing the right thing, you're doing the wrong thing. Cat told me a long time ago, hey, D, no right way to do the wrong thing. Because I had blueprints, and I was in the pen, I had blueprints. Oh, I'm going to get 9. All right, the homie got it for such and such. And when you get out, ain't none of that shit the same. The homie ain't got it. The ticket's different. Everything's. So when he told me that, it kind of it stuck with me. And I realized that at that time, yeah, you can't. I don't care how good of a blueprint you put together. If it's not the right way, God gonna rearrange you and make you keep bumping your head until you turn the right direction. Constantly. And your head will hurt. But he'll make sure that you pivot in the right direction. And you'll keep repeating the same thing over and over again. You're like, man, I keep failing. Okay, well, you haven't graduated yet. You know, one of the things, the way God works is he gives you the test before he gives you the lesson. You feel what I'm saying? So it's in reverse order, dog. It's not, hey, man, here goes the study guide. Nah, here's the test. Okay, you didn't pass it. Okay, go back to the study guides I sent you over all this time of your life and pay attention, right? Because you already have all the answers you need. You already have everything you need in life to succeed. Everything. You already possess it. He gave it to you. He's giving it to you strategically. So even if you get something random, you're like, what the hell is it? May be something that he got in the plan 10 years from now, because that's how God works. A lot of stuff it's not in the immediate. You know what I'm saying? And we think we working on hey man, God, you know, I got something to do by Friday. So if you could just slide that miracle to me, man, that'd, you know, we'd be cool. Homie. He may slide you something that you may overlook, and it becomes a miracle 10 years from now. You're like, damn, just saying. That's how that stuff works. You get the jewels and the materials way before you build what you about to build. So you get all this stuff. It's already in your bag. You already have the tools. And if you don't have the tools, he's giving them to you. Just stay patient. And like the older homies say when the pen, hey, just keep living, youngster. Just keep living. That's what you got to do, because that's part of your experience. And your experience is everybody pays attention to they want the trophy. They want the thing to put around their neck. And they neglect the 3rd, 4th, and 5th mile and what that was teaching them. Because that was where the game was being passed out, was that 4th and 5th mile. And on that 21st mile, when it was hard as shit to run up that hill and you damn near broke your legs. Not the end. The end is, it lasts that long. It's them miles in between. It's a marathon, homie. We talking about that the marathon continues. Everybody just talking Nipsey Hussle just because it sound cool. Missed the whole meaning. Marathon continues. You listen to what Dude was talking about his entire career, man. You listen to his first music, all that. This is a marathon. It was a growth process. And what his problem was, he didn't move in the right direction at the right time. He still felt like he could be in that. And you got to change, homie. You can't be talking the same thing and talking that same language to the same cats, right? Things move differently, homie. And you got to realize when you've graduated, man, you got to remove yourself, because then you become a target, right? Become a stripe. You know what I'm saying? So once you get a certain level, you got, hey, I'm not over here no more. I don't care what you guys think. It's about me and my family. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it comes down to. You don't really care what anybody else thinks, but you care about what they think. And they got to see you make it in failure, right? They got to see you just same thing, push. It don't matter. They got to see you make it through it, right? And to see your attitude and response to failure. Because that's what our kids are watching. How do they handle failure? because everybody who starts on the path to success, this this is this is part of the process, homie. You can't get around this. This is part of the process, but I promise you, like I said before, you have all the tools you need to make it through failure, right? The key is not quitting, right? 3 miles to go, homie. That what's good? What's good, fam? Working on my okay. You could use what's the name too, homie. Canva's a good resource too. Canva's an amazing resource. Actually, you can get that done pretty quick. Logo Maker's pretty dope too. But yes, progress, homie. That's my family tapping in, making progress. Update me every time because he knows I'm accountable cat. I'm on you. I already, tell me before I even gotta ask you. Because you holding yourself accountable at that time, right? When you say something before somebody even say something to you, that's me holding myself accountable. I'm on it because you remind me of what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's if I gotta be that symbol of, damn, I don't even feel like looking at this cat, homie. You feel what I'm saying? I don't even want to talk to this cat because I know he's gonna make me, yeah. Because that's the accountability that I'm looking for in y'all. You know what I'm saying? When I come back a year from now, I'm expecting progress and domain names. You know what I'm saying? After a year from that, I'm expecting corporate credit cards to be dropped in here as pictures. You know what I'm saying? Because I expect that out of you cats. I expect the inbox too, though. Like, hey, D, this shit eating me up. What do I do? Here's a book. Here's a resource. Here's a passage. Here's something that I used. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we got shit. Ain't no study guide to this game, homie, but our experiences. So we got to tap into what we already know about in order to succeed to the next level. Somebody taught me this along. You got to go in the back of your Rolodex, your random access memory, right? And feel it out like, damn, okay, well, who gave me this game? Okay, I remember this happened, something similar. And I tell my students, that's why it's so important to document your history. We talking like females journal. We journal too. It's called a journal. We don't. It ain't no diary, but you got to document it. How you were feeling at that time, how you overcame what you overcame. Because how you gonna refer to it? A lot of times off of memory, we done smoked sherm sticks and endo when it was really endo. So our memories aren't as good as it used to be. So we got to write this stuff down, homie. We got to write it down so that one, we can also leave crumbs for the little ones. And this is what we keep forgetting about. Legacy, homie. You're going to keep hearing me repeat that. We ain't working on right now. We working on then and then and then. My grandfather, my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother got this shit popping. He failed a few times, but he wrote about it. See, look right here. This is when he failed. But look how he overcame it. Look at what he did. Look at what she did. Look, oh, he opened up a little store. Oh, for real? Oh, that fell through, but he kept going. And guess what that's going to do? That's going to light a fuse and a fire on your future generation. And they're going to always know grandpa got this popping. Entrepreneurship's in our blood. Whether it was slaves before, the horse cat, whatever the hell they did. I know when it got to my generation, we got it popping on this entrepreneurship. I do know that much. So that's the legacy we working on, homie. That's what we doing out here. And part of that is failure. So we ain't shaking failure like, nah, we ain't trying to, nah, we got to get in the mud with that fool. We got to understand that's part of the process. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for us. Just because we failed once. You're going to fail on weights. I remember when I came home, I was on 25s, 25 on each one. I could barely lift that shit. But over time, I got better and stronger. Over time. It wasn't failure. Then I got to the 35s and I failed. Then I got to putting 245s on there. And then it was 245s on each side. And it was 3. You feel what I'm saying? And I was in the 300 club and da. You feel me? So now it's different. You know what I'm saying? I understand that I got to go through a process. I understand that all success is a process. It's not immediate. I don't care what you think or what you see. Successful people take a long time. There's some abnormal shit that happens, right? There's some, what are they called? I can't even think of the term. But you guys know what I'm talking about. There's some, once in a million type stories, but the majority of them is a grind, homie. Most millionaires in their 40s and 50s. So homies that think you too late, nah, you ain't too late. Ray Kroc, all them cats was all old when they started their franchises. All of them. These young millionaires, that's all fiction and stuff they want you to believe. You got to go to Stanford to be. No, you don't, homie. There's hustlers all over this country. This cat selling turkey legs and in Houston is Larry White and Phoenix is. I can go on and on. This cat's out here getting it off of food and shit. So you ain't got to do all that. You can live a good life. Sugar Booger out here with the 2 spots. You know what I'm saying? Go on and on. And that's what I gravitate to, that kind of stuff. I don't gravitate to the statistic to tell me, nah, I'm the one recidivism my ass. I'm gonna be that 15%, homie. And you got to be the same, but you got to feed yourself. This is like a prize fight. Prize fight, marathon, all the same thing. You got to spend time with it. It takes round and repetitions in order for you to understand what you got to go through. Because you're going to be tested. And whenever you get close, that enemy comes in and rushes you. Oh, the enemy is a cold piece. Rushes you, catches you, blindsides you, subtle, gradual, right? A lot of times he won't do the direct attack. It'll be a gradual approach. It'll be your kids getting into an argument at school. You know what I'm saying? It'd be something like that. You like, where the hell does this shit come from? You know what I mean? It could just be something just random like that. Just take you off your path completely, get you off, boop, to the left. You're like, man, the next you know, you're like, what was I doing again? You was on one. You was on one, but you forgot. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you get, what's up, Mississippi? Salute, homeboy. I see you, Clark. You feel me? But it's those small little subtle things that throw us off. Somebody just say something to you. Somebody cut you off in traffic. Somebody do some chicken shit at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? And it throw you completely off. That's the subtleness of the enemy. That's how you know you're on the right path, though. These are confirmations, homie. These aren't necessarily distractions. They're confirmations that you're on the right path. If you wasn't being distracted or fucked with, man, you doing the enemy work. He patting you on the back like I got old boy down there, man. He in Mississippi working, man. He twerking for me, man. Man, AD out there. Well, I got him. Nah, I ain't working for you, homie. We got our own things going, and we recognize when he on us because everybody go through that moment when he on you. Like, damn, what's man? What is all this stuff coming from? Enemy, dog. He trying to throw this kitchen sink out your ass because he know you getting close to that finish line, or at least the next one, right? Because it don't stop. This is a marathon. We got mileage to get, right? This ain't no overnight. We ain't sprinting. We ain't pulling hamstrings and shit. We going through the gradual process because we know it takes time. We can't rush through it, right? Speaking of Nipsey, this cat 30-something years old. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. The enemy knew. He know what time it is. He know we about to break bread. He know we about to. You know what I'm saying? This might be the conversation that really you pass to somebody else, and we really get this shit popping. He know that, and that's when he attacked the most. He come hard too. You like, where the is this shit coming from? Enemy, homie. Man, everything been going good, homie. I've been doing this. I ain't done no dirt. And you like, man, out of nowhere, he just mollywops you. Well, wham. Man, this fool just dope fiend me. Pretty much. And you better have your legs. You feel what I'm saying? You better have you some legs. And the way you get them legs is through faith, through experience. You done got rocked before. This ain't the first time the enemy done two-pieced you. You know what I'm saying? You done, okay, I remember when he called me, I was at the club the other. Yeah, he catches you everywhere. I was at dinner the other night. My wife fool tried to two-piece me at the bathroom through this other cat. And that's what throws us off. It takes us off our path. It does it. It can get us a charge. It can take us back 5-10 years. That's when you fail. It's when you succumb to whatever he's throwing at you. Right? Because he gonna throw it. I mean, throw it the closer you get. The closer you get. When you start making moves, he like, oh, you doing what? Oh, where? And he watch. See if you serious. Oh, let me see if this fool really. Oh, and if he do that, I know he. Oh, you went and did that, huh? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, let me think what I can rock his world with. I know what gets him because he tells me at night. You know what I'm saying? This bullshit, homie. Woo, woo, woo. He tell me everything. I listen to him. And I'ma just use all that shit against him. He talking about his kids. He talking about his wife. He talking about this job. All right, perfect. I know what a rock is world. I'm gonna give him the job, wife, and kid combo. Boop, boop, boop. And you like, what? All in one day on me? He just doop, doop, doop. The 3 piece. Boop, 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 boop. Quick ones. I'm like, hold on. And if your foundation is flimsy, you didn't read, you ain't got your books around, you ain't got your support squad, man down. It's serious, homie. You guys think I'm playing. It is dead serious. I done told y'all from the beginning of this, man. We ain't in no human flesh shit. It's a war of good and evil. And whoever can get your mind gets your body. And they both fighting for it. God already got you, right? It's just sometimes we succumb to temptation, right? And that's what leads us to failure because we drift. It's a subtle drift at first, right? It's, oh man, I'm just kicking with this. And a lot of times it could be your company. Oh man, this cat just came around. Man, that's the enemy. You know this nigga ain't came around on how long? And here he come with the Snoopy where that dude just got the cloud of rain over him everywhere he walk. Yeah, we all got a homie like that. Here come this cloudy ass cat. You know what I'm saying? And bringing the rain and the bullshit with him. And you got to game over time teach you about this. Teach you about the cats who leeching. Teach you about the cats who gonna get you caught up. Teach you about the cats who not to go to the liquor store with. There's some cats you shouldn't even go to the liquor store with. You know you should. Every time this cat man, nah. You feel what I'm saying? Nah, dog. Nah, me and my girl gonna go to this other store over here. I ain't taking your ass nowhere with me, homie. You feel me? Because they get you caught up, gang, whatever the case, or just bad luck cats. Damn, we gotta be the same store. This cat, nah. But again, back to the marathon. It's that 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th mile that teaches you this. It is not the finish line. It's not the start where everybody at, because everybody at the start line. You notice that about marathons. Everybody at the start line. You feel me? Everybody's starting off. Oh yeah, man. You know, whoa. And 7th, 8th mile, shit gets ill. Like cats stop talking to each other. Stop doing news interviews. 11, 12 miles, it's just water and a few cats. You get to 20 and 21st, it becomes a Kenyan thing quickly. And that's the same thing that happens when we start off on these goals, homie. And a lot of times you find that out when you do things in tandem, when you do things with other people. All right, we're going to work out together, homie. And you find out that everybody ain't got the same interests as you. Everybody ain't got the same drive as you. And which is why a lot of times I don't work out in teams, because if you quit, half of me quits. Mentally, like, damn, we were doing this together. Damn, we were doing it. But I need to finish this. And that's the thing with you, right? We can't blame people for our us being miserable, and we can't blame them for our happiness. These are things that we can control. Along the same lines, our goals. God will give you everybody you need in order to accomplish your dream. Trust and believe that. And you ain't got to go begging and asking nobody for shit, right? But what you do need to get is on the right side of karma to make the universe start working with you, right? In tandem. You feel me? So these are things that we can do. We can start helping other individuals, right? If we ain't got to help our homies, you can figure out ways to help, right? Whether it's advice, whether it's books. Buy a cat a book. I know cats get mad at me. I'm like, man, I sent you something. Like, oh, for real? Like, nah, dog, it's better than dough, homie. It's going to get you that, right? It's like sending somebody cash versus sending somebody some tools. Send me some tools, homie, with some instructions, dog. Those are the kind of things I'm looking for. I don't need no cash. You can get that. Cash only has a surface value. You feel what I'm saying? But these tools that you can give me, I can work with these. And you give me some instructions on how to work on it, and I'm going to learn my own techniques as I go. Give me the tools, God. Don't give me the money. Give me the tools so that I can make the money. That's the key right there. And when people understand that part, they'll quit asking for dough. They'll ask for opportunity. Let me change the world, God. I'll be paid accordingly. I know that. I can't change the world broke. But if so, so be it. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the one thing I want to do is change the world. That's it. Give me the game, homie. Period. You can have the dough, man. I'll get the dough. You feel what I'm saying? I'll get the dough. But along with this comes failure. When we was in the game, we failed. Messed off powder, put too much water in it. Damn, this shit's out of here. And we graduated. You feel what I'm saying? We made progress. Man, God supplied us at the right time. Man, if he would have gave us the bird game that young, we'd be dead by now because we were too inexperienced to handle that kind of work. We were cool with double ups, quarter pieces, and zips. When we was 14 and 15, we didn't need birds. I didn't need to be the young bird, man. That's a dangerous situation. 15 years old and you got keys, homie, cats are just gonna strong arm you because you're too small. So these are the things. You gotta graduate. You gotta understand that there's processes to all this stuff. Nothing's no overnight nothing. Anything that's overnight something, somebody lying in that process. You feel what I'm saying? But everything develops over time. And that's the key with us. We got to embrace this part of the process. It's the part that sucks the most, right? It's that embarrassing part, right? Where you're what they used to say, weak ass cats like that. Yeah, your arms, legs, mind, everything feels like quitting. Will Smith talks about it, right? He talks about the treadmill. If you guys ever seen that, watch that Will Smith treadmill. He says, man, I'll die on this treadmill before I let you win. We got to have that same intensity. We got to have that same belief system that we're willing to die for this. I don't care if this is failure right now. My life depends on this. My life depends on this dream. My life depends on my success. So I'm not quitting. I don't care who's in my way. It's impossible. The only thing that is possible is I'm getting to that. Period. You know what I'm saying? And we got to have that belief system. We got to say that failure is not going to stop us. We're going to use it as a stepping stone. We're going to take whatever God gave us in that instance because it's a gift. Even though a lot of times we think of failure is not a gift to us, it is a gift. So if you're failing, that means God's giving you an opportunity to learn. And whenever class is in session, man, only thing you need to do is take notes. I said, what happened here? Why did it happen here? What am I supposed to learn right now? Even if it hurts, even if you fall off your bike, whatever, it's teaching you something. What do you learn? I need to make sure my bike is tight before I get my ass on it. Oh, that's the lesson? Yeah, and then this test won't happen again. You feel me? And you'll be doing that from that point on. Why? Because I learned. I learned that I'm supposed to check XYZ before I get my butt on this bike. I learned that I'm supposed to do XYZ before I set up this business. I learned that I'm supposed to do XYZ before I hire this employee. These are all things and part of the process, right? So you don't want to fail in certain instances. Some of them cost more than others. That's why they always say fail often and fail fast. So you can get this out the way because it is part of the process. So embrace failure, fellas, homies, homegirls. Embrace it. You're going to fail. I saw a quote earlier this week that said, be willing, what did it say? Be willing to suck at something. Or something like that. Be willing to suck at something, right? When you get first started. So like even with us, I'm cool with the chicken. We ain't figured it out yet, but we will. And once we do, we'll have our processes in place. Trust me on that. So I embrace it now. It stings at first. Yeah, it stings. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that failure doesn't sting. It stings. Right? But it's that type of sting that where you say, okay, that stung, but that lesson felt way better. What I learned felt way better than that sting. So I embrace it. Come on, failure. Let's go. I know you riding with me. I know you're going to be with me at every step of this process. So I might as well get used to your ass and teach you how to work for me. Because I know you're going to be in the car. I know you're going to be with me at every obstacle I come. I know you're that option. Hey, man, I'm right here, homie. Just in case you need me. I'm right here. You want to quit? You want to tap out? You tapping out, man? Okay, cool. I'm right here, man. Don't trip. We good. We just go back to what we was doing. We straight. We straight. And failure never get off the car. Right? But when you tell failure, nah, homie, I know what you up to. I know what you do. But I know inside of you there's a lesson. You don't even know God programmed it in you. So you just standing here making, man, you about to fail. Yeah, okay, but let me get that lesson real quick, dog. That's all I need. And then I can discard the rest of you. But it's that lesson. So figure out what your lesson is. The key. And don't bite on the enemy's shit, man, because when he comes hard. He comes rapidly. He comes with the things that you've been complaining about the most, whether you've done it verbally and whether you've done it in silence. He knows what gets to you because you talk about it. But what he doesn't know is he doesn't know your future. So keep that in mind and make sure that you understand the failure is part of the process. We in a marathon. Right now, we on mile 17. Too far to come turn around and quit, but we still got a long way ahead of us. So that concludes our weekly tap in. Make sure you guys go get the power of the subconscious mind. I put it in there last time. Go get the power of the subconscious mind. Listen to it. He got some Bible scriptures in there, but at the same time, it's gravy. I promise you will change your entire life. Trust me on that. Get the audio book. I'm listening to the audio book right now. What's up, Earl? I see you, baby. What's good, fam? Tapping in. What's up, Tanisha? I see you. Appreciate you guys tapping in. I'm going to tap out right now. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube. Appreciate you, Renee, man. Texas tapping in as always. Hey, man, I could not do this without you guys, man. Appreciate you, AD. You guys hanging in there with your boy. I'm going to keep trying to deliver this, man. So hopefully next week I'll bring you some more. And I should be on another book by that time. Tapping out. Have a great week, fellas, ladies.